I swear, I looked away for one tiny second and it was gone. My big red bag with all the Christmas gifts just disappeared. I was walking out of the store. The wind was crazy and I put the bag down by a bench to fix my gloves, to make them fit better. My phone rang, I answered, turned back, and the bag was gone. I just froze. My brain stopped working. Then I started to look around. That means to check in every direction to see if something's nearby. I looked around left, right, even behind the bench. Nothing. I stepped back. That's when you move one step back to see more. Still nothing. Maybe the wind blew it away. We say that when the wind moves something far from where it was. But the bag was heavy. There were books, a mug, a sweater, everything for my family. I bend down to check under the bench. Nothing. That's when I really felt something's wrong. My heart starts racing. It means it's beating super fast because you're stressed or scared. I grab my phone, but have no idea who to call. I just stand there, frozen, like time stopped. I turn around and look at people passing by. Maybe someone saw it. Maybe someone picked it up, took it thinking it was theirs. But everyone just keeps walking, not even looking at me. And in that moment, the cold goes right through my jacket, and I think, seriously, Ellie, you just lost Christmas. My hands were shaking. I run back to the store. That means I go there quickly, almost in panic. I ask the security guy if he saw a red bag. He just shrugs. That's when someone lifts their shoulders like, I don't know. Great. Super helpful. I walk around the entrance, checking every corner. There's nothing. I push the door open again and step outside. The street feels louder now, like the noise itself is laughing at me. I try to breathe slowly, but my chest feels tight. You know that moment when you feel stuck? Like your body wants to move, but your brain can't catch up? Yeah, that. Then I remember the coffee shop. I was there 10 minutes ago. Maybe I left it there. When you forget something somewhere, that's what we say, leave it. I run across the street, my boots sliding a little on the wet sidewalk. Inside, the warm air hits my face. I go up to the counter, it means I move closer to it, and ask the barista if anyone found a red Christmas bag. He looks around, checks the lost and found box, and says no. I check under the tables myself, even behind the chairs. Nothing. My throat feels dry. We say that when we're scared or nervous. The barista says he'll keep an eye out. That's a nice phrase, meaning he'll watch for it. I nod, thank him, but honestly, it feels useless. I step outside again, and the wind almost pulls my hair out of my face. And for a second, I think, maybe someone took it on purpose. Maybe Christmas just got stolen. I stand there on the sidewalk, not knowing what to do. The bag is gone, the street is empty, and I just feel lost. That's what we say when we have no idea where to go or what to do. My breath looks white in the cold air, and my hands are shaking. Then I see a police officer walking by. For a moment, I hesitate. Like, is this even serious enough to tell him? But then I wave him over. It means I move my hand to call someone closer. He comes up to me, calm and steady, and asks what happened. I try to explain everything. How I went shopping, stopped by the bench, and when I turned around, the bag was gone. My voice is shaking, and he writes it down in a small notebook. We use that phrase when someone notes information by hand. He asks what the bag looked like, what was inside, where exactly I left it. When I finish, he says he'll check the cameras nearby. That means he'll look at security video to see what happened. He talks slowly, like he knows I'm about to cry, and tells me to stay calm. That's a phrase people say when they want you to relax, even when everything feels terrible. I nod, which means I move my head to show yes, but honestly, I don't believe anything can help. I follow him to the corner where there's a small security screen in a nearby store. We watch the footage. That's how we describe looking at recorded video. And then I see it. Someone, a tall man in a black coat, walks by, stops, and picks up my bag. He just walks away with it, like it's nothing. My stomach drops. That's how it feels when you suddenly realize something bad. The officer says he'll try to track him down to find the person, but when I finish, he says he'll check the cameras nearby. That means he'll look at security video to see what happened. He talks slowly, like he knows I'm about to cry, and tells me to stay calm. That's a phrase people say when they want you to relax, even when everything feels terrible. I nod, which means I move my head to show yes, but honestly, I don't believe anything can help. I follow him to the corner, where there's a small security screen in a nearby store. We watch the footage. That's how we describe looking at recorded video. And then I see it. Someone, a tall man in a black coat, walks by, stops, and picks up my bag. He just walks away with it, like it's nothing. My stomach drops. That's how it feels when you suddenly realize something bad. The officer says he'll try to track him down, to find the person, but it might take time. And all I can think is, my gifts, my time, my Christmas, all gone in 1 minute. The officer tells me to wait, but I can't just stand there. I start walking down the street, scanning every face. You know that feeling when hope and panic are fighting inside you? That's me. I look around every corner, every bench, hoping to see a flash of red. Then the officer calls out. He's pointing toward the bus stop. He says someone matching the man's description was seen there. So we head over together. That means we go in that direction, usually with the goal. My heart beats faster with every step. When we reach the stop, I spot a red bag on the ground. To spot means to notice something quickly, often from far away. My heart jumps. Could it be mine? But then I see someone sitting next to it, holding the handles. It's an older man, gray hair, big coat, calm face. The officer walks up to him and asks about the bag. The man looks surprised and says he found it. He thought someone forgot it on the bench and was about to bring it to the police station. I just stand there, speechless. I step closer, my eyes already watery, and yes, it's my bag, the same red one. I let out a laugh. That means I laugh suddenly without planning it. The sound is half joy, half relief. I thank him over and over. The words just keep coming out. The man smiles and says, "It's Christmas, miss. people should help each other. The officer smiles too, writes something down, and nods at me. Like, you see, not everyone steals. I hold the bag tight, the paper handles cutting into my fingers, and suddenly the cold doesn't feel that cold anymore. I look up at the sky, gray, windy, and somehow still beautiful, and I whisper to myself, "Okay, Ellie, maybe Christmas isn't lost after all." Back home, I kick off my boots. That means I take them off quickly, like I can finally relax. The floor is cold, my nose is red, but I'm smiling. The red bag is back on the table, safe, a little wrinkled, but full of Christmas magic again. I open it up carefully, one hand still shaking. Everything's there. The candle for Mom, the scarf for Dad, the small bracelet for my sister. I touch each one like it's a tiny miracle. You know when something almost disappears forever and suddenly it's back? It feels bigger, warmer, more real. I sit down on the couch and wrap myself up in a blanket. That phrase means to cover yourself completely, to feel cozy. The sound of the city fades. All I can hear is my own heartbeat slowing down. I close my eyes for a moment, and it hits me. I almost cried over things, but what really mattered was people. The man at the bus stop, the officer, the barista, strangers who just cared. I light a candle, soft yellow glow like a tiny sunrise in my living room. The air smells sweet. I take a deep breath, the kind that feels like forgiveness. My hands finally stop shaking. And as I look at the bag one last time, I whisper, "You made it home." Then I laugh quietly. Maybe I didn't lose Christmas. Maybe I just found it again. The candle flickers and I lean back on the couch. That means I rest my body against it, finally calm. My room feels soft and golden, like everything is breathing slower. I look around, the fairy lights, the gifts, the blanket around me, and I realize how quiet it is. The kind of quiet that feels safe. I pick up my phone and see a text from Grandma. She's asking how my shopping went. I laugh a little. Should I tell her I almost lost everything? I type back a short message, just saying, "All done. Everything's perfect." Sometimes you don't need to tell the full story. You just keep it to yourself. That phrase means you decide not to share something. Then I stand up and walk to the window. Outside, snow is starting to fall. Soft, slow, like it's trying not to wake the city. I press my hand against the glass. It's cold, but somehow comforting. I watch people hurrying below, each one probably carrying their own tiny miracle tonight. I smile to myself. That means to smile quietly just for you. The lost bag, the kind stranger, the police officer, all of it feels like a story that ended right. I turn off the lights, one by one, leaving only the candle glowing on the table. And as I crawl into bed, that's how we say, get into bed slowly like you're tired. I whisper, "Merry Christmas, Ellie." Because really, I didn't lose my gifts. I just found the kindness that Christmas is all about. I wake up the next morning, and for a second, I forget everything that happened. The room is still dim, the candle's gone out, and there's that calm, sleepy silence that only happens after a storm. Then I see the red bag on the table, and it all comes rushing back. I stretch out my arms. We use that when we reach wide to loosen up after sleep, and smile. I walk over to the bag, touch it again just to be sure it's real. It is. Still here, still warm somehow, like it's holding a secret. I make coffee, the smell filling the kitchen instantly. When I pour it into my favorite mug, I catch myself thinking about the man at the bus stop, how simple his words were. People should help each other. I keep hearing that in my head. It's strange how one small sentence can stay with you all day. I sit down by the window, watching the first light hit the rooftops. It's pale and cold, but beautiful. I take a sip. That's the word for drinking a small amount, and feel the warmth spread through me. And suddenly, I realize, yesterday I thought I'd lost Christmas, but maybe that's how I found it. Not in the gifts, not in the bag, but in the people who showed up when I needed them. I laugh softly, shake my head, and whisper, "You did good, Ellie." Then I wrap my hands around the mug. That means to hold it gently with both hands, and let the warmth stay a little longer. Because this time, I know exactly what I almost lost and what I'll never forget.